How many colleges should students apply to?
So we usually suggest that students apply to 6 to 10 colleges. And the strategy here is making sure that we have enough schools on our list where we know that we're getting in, where we have an opportunity for financial aid. We have opportunity come senior year to consider competitive merit awards and be able to appeal those offers as well. But when it really comes down to it, students start to burn out. If you start to apply to 15, 20, I've even seen some kids absolutely convinced that they need to apply to 30 schools because they're all schools where they're hard to get into, right? Like they will put too many reach or super reach schools on their list to the point where you're going to have, they're hard for everybody to get into, but now you've got all of those extra essays. There's so much more work that goes into applying to that number of institutions. And then the likelihood of us even getting into them is slim, right? When you have acceptance rates of 20%, 10%, or single digits, it makes it way more challenging across the board. So what we like is to make sure that you are satisfied with how many schools you have an opportunity to get into, where you can get some scholarship at, and it shouldn't be on your list if you're not actually going to go there. I would say one of the biggest mistakes that people will make is they'll put safety schools on their list where they'll go, oh, I'm just going to go to Western, or name your state school in your backyard. That they're not even going to consider if they do actually, where they know they're going to get in and where they know is actually affordable, then it doesn't count. It doesn't make sense because we don't have a viable backup option if all of the other schools don't work out admissions wise or financial aid wise at the end of the day. So we want to make sure that we are considering all of those different factors, getting on campus, taking advantage of the opportunities, really getting a vibe check, as kids like to say, and making sure they know, hey, I really would consider it. And my favorite part of this is I always say, I've done my job if kids come and say, I must go to like the large state school, or I must have this certain type of thing. They get really stuck on like, it has to look this way. And then they go get on a campus that was completely different. And they were like, oh, actually, I really loved it. And I'm like, I knew you would because it was the people and the community and the activities, right? And like all of these other pieces that they discounted because they wanted to think about it from a different perspective. So I am Crystal with Crystal Clear College Planning, and I would love to encourage you to go visit my website, download our free guide on how to make the most out of visiting colleges. I think that is a really great way for you to take your students and get some really great questions answered when you're on campus and help them really get that vibe check and make the most out of this process. So thanks so much, and follow me for more.